Have you ever realized that most individuals, especially from the West, who come and say, "Oh, we are going to give aid to Africans as a whole," and then you realize it's not just aid, it's something in between the aid thing. Aid is just a word. You know, when someone says they are coming to destroy you, they won't come and say, "Oh, um, I want to do these bad things to you." No, they will just come with a smiley face and something good. If someone wants to poison you, I don't know if poison is a word. If someone wants to poison you, they don't come there smiling at you. I mean, they don't come there, with threats like take this food and eat it. I've put poison on it, and it's going to unalive you. No, they come there with a smiley face, with good food, eat the best food that you actually want, that you actually need, and they give it to you at the moment of your need. Maybe you are so hungry and you see the bestest food your best food, and it's there, and this person is smiling, and it's going to have benefit, you know and they give it to you, and later on something bad happens. Yeah, same thing that is happening with Donald Trump, saying that he's coming to I think rescue Christians in Nigeria. I actually want to say this now. I'm not against that, which is a good thing, because unaliving people is not bad. I mean, sorry, unaliving people is bad. It's not good, yani. But the fact that a European, no, sorry, an American, a white person is coming, a white person who has power is coming to help, in quotes, help an individual. Hmm? That actually sends that actually makes me wonder what is, there are other issues that have been happening around Africa, issues that need immediate effect, like the killings in Sudan. I mean, it's so bad. I don't even know how to explain it. I understand the Palestine is also massive bloodshed. There is also war happening in Congo. There are things happening in Ethiopia. There are things happening in a lot of places. Right now, there is Tanzania. And now, I just want us to look at Nigeria, because Nigeria is very specific right now, because that is where Donald Trump is checking. And Nigeria, you need to understand, there was the Boko Haram that happened years ago, and there were a lot of people that were destroyed. There were a lot of people who went through a lot of things. I'm sorry about the background noise. Please bear with me. So anyway, and in recent allegations, there have been allegations that Barack Obama actually funded the Boko Haram at that point. And I'm just wondering, is this the same thing that is happening now, so that Donald Trump or the West can actually be able to kupenya inside the country, to come into Nigeria in the guise of we are coming to help the Christians in Nigeria, and yet they are coming for the oils. I mean, this is a card that has been thrown to Africans for the longest time, because we have resources. And if we were to black out, and this is something that I need every African to understand, if we were to assume, presumably, there was a way that we could block out the outer world, other continents. I know we need each other, but let's face it, we have been oppressed for the longest time. If there was a way that we could actually block out the rest of the world and be on our own, I think we could. And what I know we could survive it, because these people need us. Without Africa, these other people are nothing. Let's just be honest. And I'm not speaking from a place of pride. Okay, let me just be honest. I'm proud to be African. I'm proud that we can actually feed nations. I'm proud that we can actually have resources. We have things that can actually work for us. And I'm proud that these people tend to make us feel like we are nothing, but we're actually everything in their lives. And the moment Ibrahim Traore realized this, the moment he realized, okay, you know, and he actually fought for it, and you can see where his country is at the moment. You see, France right now he is like grappling at the last strokes. You know, they are bankrupt in every single way because why? They really depended on West Africa, and now like I think three states have dismantled their close cut off ties with France, and now France is really struggling, and honestly, it's struggling. And I wish every other African leader who is chosen to represent an African state can actually do the same. However, our leaders are in a position where I think their thinking is if we can't beat them, let's join them, and they're trying to grab whatever they can at the moment within the timeline that they are given, which is such a pity, you know. Another thing that I've been thinking about, I'm not gonna get into it a lot, but it's the carbon credits, and Africans need to understand something. When you talk about carbon credits, for me, what I understand is carbon credit is when one company is producing carbon dioxide. Okay, it's about climate change, right? And we are trying to reduce the carbon emissions, if I'm not wrong. And one of the things is, for example, I have an industry in Europe that is producing maybe 20, 20, for example, 20,000 liters of, oh, not I don't know how they measure them, but let's just put an example into it. Probably they are producing 20,000 liters of carbon, and then they come to my country, and then the climate whatever tells them, oh, you need to have carbon credit, and they come to a place like Africa and search for a place where there are no carbon emissions, a lot of it, and they buy so that they can plant trees or something, so that they can, it's like buying carbon credits. Yeah, so they come to a place like this and they're like, okay, so this 20,000 liters are being compensated in a place that we bought or leased the land in Africa. And yeah, so it's like balancing the scale. It's like a balance sheet, right? So I need you guys to understand one thing. It's going to get to a point where Africa, right now, the challenges that we have is that we are exporting raw products. Why? Because we do not have processing industries. And once we start bringing in the carbon credit facade or the narrative, because it doesn't make sense, nature knows how to take care of itself. Anyway, having said that, let me get back to what I was saying. So, if we are lacking processing industries, what do you think will happen when we have sold lots, almost every carbon credit I think that we have, and we need to produce to have to start setting up industries? We will never be able to. We will never be able to get to a point where we will, because we will have already sold it. We have already, these are agreements, Paris agreements. I don't know, the 21st whatever. These are agreements that are put on paper. So once African states start saying, oh, now we need industries, we will never get to that, because they'll be like, okay, you guys signed this, and once you signed this, there's no going back. Maybe it's 100 years, and this is another way, of colonializing. So guys, I will talk on it next time. Yeah,